Of a breakout season for the Broncos' Eric Decker. It seemed only fitting that we send our resident Bronco to Denver to talk to him. You had part one of that conversation last week, part two this week.
Yeah, part two is going to be this week. And in part two, we're going to talk about really his transition from the college game to the pro game and also his relationship with quarterback Peyton Manning. Let's go on the field a little bit. You talk about making that transition. How about running those comebacks against a Champ Bailey type or a deep over, shallow cross? Were those a lot different? You had to figure out how to run them at the pro level?
Oh, yeah. You got to be a little more crisp on your routes. And I think that's something so great about this sport is it's all technique work. And the harder you work, the more you get out of it. And to have a guy like Peyton Manning has been great for my growth. And like you said, going against Champ Bailey, you got to have 3 steps out of the comeback, not 5.
You played with 2 different styles of offense. Now you're with Manning. Is there a difference?
It's been a transition this year playing with, I think, the best quarterback to play this game ever. And we got to be on top of our stuff because whether it's in the film, whether it's in walkthroughs, practice, games, he's making sure we know what we're doing because if we're not, it's going to affect us as a whole.
How have your leadership skills developed since you've been here?
A lot of my leadership qualities come from on the field, more through actions than through words. Again, by just being the leader of a drill, of working hard every day, and then speaking up if there's a correction to be made, or communication is a big thing we talked about this year. We do a lot of the briefing on the sideline is you gotta be on the same page. You gotta understand, okay, what do you see that I don't see, and how should I make the adjustment? And I think that collectively as a receiver group has helped us transition from, in the film room to on the field.
Now, Peyton as a leader is obviously legendary. He comes to the line, he walks to the line, decides what play he wants to call, keeps you on your toes, doesn't it?
Man, I'll tell you what, the first time he ever, in practice was up in the line, making checks, audibles, dummy audibles, different mic points, calling out the hots. I was just like, oh boy, just don't screw up. Like you're just thinking, your mind's racing. And now we're to the point where you're just reacting, and we're playing fast, and that is such an advantage here in Denver, but as well anybody you play.
How about the first pass he threw to you? How nervous were you?
After he signed, we went to this high school and worked out, and just doing drill work. I felt like I was a freshman in high school trying to make the team. Just because I had to bust my butt and make sure I was doing everything right and not dropping the ball because, I've heard stories now in Indy, and Stokely always tells us he's going to get on you, he's going to try to test you, but he's doing it because he wants you to get better and he expects the best out of you.
Manning certainly got the best out of Decker. His 13 TD catches, second most in the NFL during the regular season, had 6 grabs for a team-high 84 yards in Denver's overtime playoff loss to Baltimore on Sunday.